Okay, so this one is a side kick. We're following a lot of the same principles as before, as in pro tip number one is to focus on what the core and what the standing leg are doing in order to get the most dramatic kick stretch. And here, okay, so you see me starting off with actually turning out that foot to about 45 degrees, right? So I want to be in that sort of middle 45-degree kind of zone, okay? And then with a little bit of hand on the surface. Now here's the deal. There's a lot going on in terms of this kind of side kicking motion. And what you see now is totally an illusion. It looks like I'm trapped perfectly in between, you know, like a wall here and a wall here. But what you can't see from this video angle is that actually the, let's say that, it's a good color to use here. Let's say that, the right foot or the most of the body is kind of here. Well, the butt is actually outside of those walls. So what you do not see here is that there actually is a little bit of arching of the low back. So tailbone pointed towards the lead wall behind me. And that's actually a way to trick the hips into a wider split. And so in general, um, that's why this leg is turned out. It's a lot like when we set a heel hook on a compression climb where you actually want your flagged leg to have the toe pointed away from the other foot. Um, so here we are externally rotated in the lower leg bone. That's what we're seeing in terms of that foot turning out. And that's actually going to make it a little bit easier for how the upper leg bone goes into the hips and the pelvis to get a little bit wider like that. And then we're asking the same deal of that other leg. Now, if I slow it down, you'll see this clean sequence of action. So I'm actually trying to keep the hips relatively still to start, and then you'll see them start to fade over to the side, to the right. But what's key here is that the momentum, because I'm not really pawing the ground with the foot in the same way. See, I was just lifting up and it's just in midair. So where is the acceleration or where is the momentum coming from? It's actually coming from first cinching down and scrunching that side as much as possible. That creates trying to scrunch this side as much as possible. That creates a big stretch on that side. There we go. And then it's just like pulling back a bow and arrow. Once we have that stretch, then you can see my body switching modes. So you can see it straightening back out because I'm going to attempt now to switch it so that then I finish. There we go. Scrunched on that side and then stretched on that side. Okay, so once again, that is first you scrunch one side and stretch the one of the leg that you're kicking, and then that creates this bit of tension, or it creates pulling the bow and arrow back, the string backwards, and then I'm going to fling it. I'm going to let that momentum go into the hip and the leg, and here again there's this subtle hip shift where the hip starts here, but they're going to push that way because that's actually a part of how we get the tension, the coiled up tension from this side to fling through the leg is just by pushing the hip over. And ultimately, that's where I'm actually thinking about this as a stretch here and then a scrunching on this side. And that's how we can get that maximum kind of height.